Morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with the pledge. You can stand right there, Bill.
I'll stand right here.
You can be our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under indivisible with liberty and justice for all. All right, and the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? All righty.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, you guys, let's get started. We have a big program today. And so I'm sure we're all aware of what happened last night. Hello? Hello? Okay. So I just want to acknowledge our community's loss last night and thank the EMS sheriffs and the firefighters for their service. 3 shootings in 4 months, 5 months is a lot for this community. So I feel, we're very lucky that we have emergency people coming from down the hill, the police. I was actually on the road on 70 and saw them coming up with their quick reaction. So let's just be kind to each other, be kind to the community. There's a lot of things that trigger from the other shootings that have happened to people in the community. So let's give some grace today to everybody. Okay, Adrian. In your sassy red.
I know I have to talk to some wives. Like, why do not many men have bread or food?
There's some. Yeah.
Even his jacket was red on. So thank you all for coming today, and we're excited to hear Mary after all. So thank you. And we have Mariah Norman, Dave's daughter, and I guess she's the director of nursing, Gary, and Linda Kirkpatrick. Very much.
You. Welcome to our guests, and also welcome to our Zoom people. I don't think we have any guests on there, but a couple of members. Okay, so today, February 13th, we know it is Friday the 13th, so we don't want to be, if you're superstitious, knock on wood, do whatever you need to do, but I thought this was interesting. It's Get a Different Name Day. So if you feel like changing your name, don't like it, today's the day for that.
Just for today.
Just for today. Yeah.
Sorry, this is not Mindy.
All righty. So Rotarians in the wild, we had quite a few. First of all, Friday after the meeting last Friday, we went to the grocery and I ran into Jennifer, Jen, Carolyn was there. So, we might just have to have an after party at King Supers. And then on Saturday was the amazing race held by the chamber. It was a very fun event, and thank you for who participated. But we have Megan at Cactus Jacks. They had a fun mixing event. That was fun. And then Tara actually works for the chamber. And then we have Bruce Anderson and Roxanne running around town. So thank you for participating. If you guys, next year when we have it, definitely get a team together. It's a lot of fun. And you get to see Evergreen in a different way because you're walking around. We went through the tunnels up to Center for the Arts. So fun times. And then we have Jerry and Marianne got up on the slopes in Vail. They actually got a little bit of snow up there. So fun times. And then we have this crew hiking. So Roger, Steve, Bob Bradley, and then Bill Manning. Looks like they were having fun, enjoying the nice weather. And then also we had the shelter shelter meal this week. And so we had Richard and Roger and Barb and Tom Scripps, and then oh my gosh, Becky Cunningham, who's also a member. She doesn't come very often, but she does volunteer at the shelter. And then Rena and I were there as well, but we left before they did the serving. So thank you guys for that as well. All right, a lot of things going on. Peace meeting today here, right after the meeting. If you are a Red Badger and haven't attended the peace meeting and you have time, it's a great group. It's definitely worth staying for. We have the Seniors for Wellness Luncheon, February 20th. Thank you for signing up, and remember to get your aprons if you are going to that. On the 27th of February, we have the Mount Evans Gala, Jazz Club Jubilee at Mount Vernon. And then March 6th is International Women's Day. Patrice, did they still have tables available or tickets?
I think we're down to one table.
Okay.
Almost sold out.
Almost sold out. Great. Oh, good. March 13th, Lucky Luau. March 17th is the St. Baldrick's Foundation fundraiser, which is Tim Egan. He's here. I'm sure we'll hear about it. Not that the hat means anything. And that's at Wild Game. April 15th is the deadline for Rotary Legacy projects. So let's make sure if you have a legacy project, you get that into the team for that. And then Outdoor Lab, Sandra Kellogg wanted me to let you guys know that Outdoor Lab After Dark fundraiser is May 2nd, and we'll send a link for that. Center of Love Kenya trip is August 4th through the 11th. And then the Tanzania trip is February 2027. And I just keep that on there because they're in the planning stages right now. So I know it sounds like it's way far away, but it's not when you're planning for a trip like that.
Hey, Erica?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Kurt Harris. And oh, who do you submit your legacy projects to? And that's Kurt Harris. And he sent out an email with the form. If we need to send that back out, we can do that. Okay, and then just around the district again, we have the ice melt contest, which is Mountain Foothills, and then Georgetown or Clear Creek 2000 also has one. Clear Creek 2000, I probably should check on this to see if they're doing their pond hockey tournament. I'll find out. We have the Foothills Home Garden Lifestyle Show April 11th and 12th. I'm sure Dave could still use some volunteers. Where are you, Dave? Yep. And then the Area 8 Social, which is celebrating Ryla on the 23rd.
The Mountain Foothills Ice Melt, the tickets say you have to turn it in by March 17th. I believe they're going to announce today you have to turn your ticket in by March 1st.
Oh, okay. So the tickets for the Ice Melt Mountain Foothills has to be in by March 1st. If it lasts that long. I drove by there the other day and I was like, oh, I should have put February on there instead of April. Thank you. Okay, riddle of the day. Who doesn't love a riddle?
Hi, Katie. Hi, everybody. So, the riddle of the day. What do you get when you cross a leprechaun with a hula dancer?
It's very hurtful.
You get the lucky luau. Woo! Backed by popular demand are the ukulele girls. So, we are going to be singing a song today because so many of you wanted the words to sing along with. We are going to have the words up on the screen, and you all are encouraged to sing with us this morning. Okay, it's to the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Cool? Okay. Ready? Lucky luau, here we are, green and gold and tiki stars. Shake a leg and stomp your feet, Irish luck and island beat. Lucky luau, shout hooray! Aloha, luck is here to stay.
adding members, and I'm not sure that people really know why we're doing this Lucky Luau. Could you help me with that?
I would love to, Katie. So the Lucky Luau is our fundraiser this year. We always have a fundraiser. It's really important for the financial piece of the Rotary Club that we have some money to work with, right? It is our fundraiser this year. Our theme this year is sort of mixing the island with St. Patrick's Day. We're doing it in March, obviously. But what it is, not only is it a fundraiser, it's a way for us to invite community members to check us out. We're gonna have it this year at the Elks Lodge. It's gonna be so much fun. There's so many activities planned. We're gonna have a DJ, there's gonna be a bar, there's gonna be amazing food, fun games, great prizes. You are not gonna wanna miss it. I'm not kidding. It's gonna be fun. You are gonna wanna be there, okay? Bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your families, get tickets, sign up to be a sponsor. We need you, we want you, and it's gonna be fun. You are not gonna wanna miss the limbo contest, the riding of the surfboard. It's gonna be the coconut frogs. Yes, yes.
She added that. She just.
Yeah. We're gonna have
Just wanted to thank the people who have donated and have bought tickets. Today, I'm going to send out a little business card attachment to all of you. Please feel free to forward this to your friends and neighbors. Let's have some fun, raise some money in the club.
You could really take that on tour as well. So. All right, we have Pause for the Cause, Patrice and Mindy.
Good morning, I'm Patrice, and I am one of the founders of the Center of Love Foundation. If you guys haven't memorized that yet, Mindy was a member of our service team last year in August, so this is a bit of a surprise for her. She gave her presidential gift to the Center of Love to build benches, and I wanted you all to see what took place. Excuse the creepy AI voice.
Cindy, Mindy, Chris, Eric, and Reese traveled to Kenya with one mission: to serve, connect, and give back. They spent their time working alongside the Ngeo Foundation and the Center of Love Foundation in Kibra, sharing love and hope with the community. During their stay, they launched a benchmaking program. From scratch, they measured, cut, and drilled, turning simple pieces of wood into something meaningful and lasting. The team spent the whole day at NGAO Foundation, Friends of Love Kibra Slums and the Center of Love Foundation, feeding children, playing games, face painting, and creating unforgettable memories. What began as a service trip became a life-changing experience filled with hard work, laughter, friendship, and love. As the week came to an end, hearts were full, friendships were built, and lives were touched on both sides. We invite you to join us on the next service trip, to serve, to give, and to be part of a story that transforms lives and communities.
Thank you so much, Mindy, and to your family. Supposed to be 3 benches, was actually 16. They gave extreme carpentry skills and tools that will be used forever. It was just very touching, and so I wanted to make sure the club knew, how your money was in motion while Mindy was on the ground, as well as Cindy, our district governor, came with us, and we created Rotary opportunities. So you saw in the background that Cindy rolled actually, and all of us got to see the latest WASH program at Olympic Primary School, which, just a gentle reminder, was funded by the International Services Committee. and serves 6,000 primary students. And Mindy can attest, the little ones sat so patiently for over an hour on their first day of break in their uniforms, and they are water champions that watch over the WASH program at their school, and that's the fourth one that this district has supported. In addition, I was at the International Services Committee meeting. Bob was there, and I believe it was Al Stager that said, this next video, you need to take it to the whole club. They need to see what this is all about. So for our water, sanitation, and hygiene efforts, we engage youth during breaks, and we have a soccer tournament in August, April, and December. They're off for a month. It's a time where they could get into a lot of shenanigans. And throughout the tournament, we take advantage of talking about water, sanitation, and hygiene. The ISC committee was a little uncertain about supporting this, I think. But when I finally showed the video, because we always want to say thank you for the donation, to actually, we would not have had a December tournament without their support. So this is part of the August tournament that I attended and December, and we're going really big this year. We're recruiting over 1,000 students. So way far out beyond our primary partnerships with the Engao Foundation and Friends of Love Kibera under the Center of Love Foundation umbrella.
Football is more than just a game. It's a language everyone understands. It brings us together, across ages, backgrounds, and communities. We harness the unifying power of football to spark conversations that matter, about safe water, sanitation, and hygiene. Through this tournament, we educate, inspire, and mobilize communities to adopt healthy WASH practices that protect families, strengthen schools, and save lives. Every pass, every goal, and every cheer becomes an opportunity to learn why clean water matters, why proper sanitation saves lives, why simple hygiene practices build healthier, stronger communities. Kick It for WASH is about more than football. It's about empowerment. It's about giving young people a voice. It's about creating awareness that leads to action and sustainable living for all. When communities come together around sport, change becomes possible. Health improves. Knowledge grows. And hope takes root. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Evergreen Rotary Club for their generous support and partnership in making the Kick It for WASH tournament a reality. Together, we are kicking for health, dignity, and a cleaner, safer future for all.
So thank you so much for that support. And for those of you that are newer to the club, the Center of Love Foundation, with our two primary partners, our 4 pillars are WASH, because of all of you, because of all the other district support that we've received. We provide clean water to over 50,000 people on a daily basis. 2, nutritional support. We provide meals to our partners to 400 to 600 children per week, especially on weekends and holidays. Mindy can attest, there were some children trying to get in line a second time. Some little ones, 5 years old, bring their little toddler brother and sister on their backs. And they were sharing a plate, and I said, no, let's get a plate for your little sibling. We also have a women's empowerment group. We're taking on gender-based violence because of the young Olympian that came back from Paris, was doused with petrol, killed by her boyfriend. It inspired our board to say, no, we need to take charge of this. So when we celebrate International Women's Day here, we'll be celebrating at the Center of Love too. And then finally, we are opening up a vocational learning center that we worked hard on raising money for. And that building is at the Center of Love compound, and that'll tackle 50% unemployment among youth in Kibera and Kingdini, where over 1 million people live in Kibera alone. And they'll be able to study initially plumbing and electrical, as well as our sewing programs. With that, I just want to say thank you and turn it over to Mindy to talk a little bit about her passion to bring these beautiful items back from Kenya. Thank you.
Excuse me. Video company.
So the items that we have are from the women's tailoring program. It's young women who don't necessarily have any way to gain any skills, any way to support themselves and their families. So they're going through this tailoring program. They make beautiful items. I will tell you, there were a whole lot more until I went shopping in my own supplies and things I brought back. But supporting them and purchasing these items makes a big, big difference. They can feed 400 children for about $75. So if you think about that, if you're making a purchase of a couple items, you could be feeding 400 children. So it makes a big difference. I'm happy to share, a million pictures, a million stories with anyone who wants them, but just know that 100% of the money is going straight to Cadera. It'll be there by this afternoon. So we appreciate your support. And like I said, if you have any questions at all, we're happy to answer them. And we'll be around afterwards also for anyone who wants to make purchases.
I don't know if you missed it on the way in, look at it on the way out, because there are a lot of great things, really beautiful bags and stuff. All right, let's do Happy Bucks. And as a reminder, Happy Bucks, all of it goes to Lucky Luau this time.
Well, I'm gonna start Happy Bucks today. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Everybody knows that, right? We have special Valentine gifts for everyone who gives Happy Bucks today. And if you didn't bring cash, no problem. We have an IO Happy Bucks envelope you can take home, fill up, and bring back next week. I'm gonna start by giving 20 Happy Bucks to our IT Russell. You guys don't know this because you aren't here when he gets here in the morning. He literally makes this happen. He makes the sausage. You don't understand it because you just eat it, but he's making it. And I want to give a special shout out to him for all the hard work that he does.
We have 20 Happy Bucks. On Monday, I start my new job at the chamber. I probably wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you guys and being part of this Rotary Club. When I came to Evergreen, I joined the Rotary first thing, and that's what's gotten me into the community and really loving Evergreen. So thank you for your support.
Who's up? Well, good morning. I have nothing.
Wait.
I'm bigger than you are. We're not talking. Except around the valley. Go.
All right, I have only one happy book because tomorrow is Mary and my 1-year anniversary. Is it? I'll find somebody.
I have a microphone. Yeah, but you know that Russell makes the sausage because he's well rounded.
Welcome back.
So I have 20 Happy Bucks because so many of you showed up for the concert at for Evergreen Corral, and also for all of the kindnesses I've shown during my little recovery from knee surgery. So thank you all very much.
This is for the treat. There you go. Okay, so I'm really happy. I have become a pickleballer.
Oh, yes.
And you know why? Because I play with my kids. It is so fun. Once a week, we go down to the third shop or whatever it is. On third day to Wadsworth, and we play for an hour. And I'm totally out of breath. And there's so much younger, but it's lots of fun having to do it with my kids. But I'm happy to do it with anybody else that's a little more like it.
I've got 20 Happy Bucks before I owe you. Next week, today, I will be in Maryland visiting my son who's playing in his first 2 college lacrosse games. So, very excited.
Good morning, my name is Kimra. I have 2 happy bucks. One is for oatmeal for Trusan. Oatmeal rocks my world, so thank you. I love it. The second happy buck is for Eric Gill. So Eric, will you stand up? Eric did not want to buy a little makeup line purse this morning. He did not. And I basically told him how good his shopping donation, it could be a Valentine solution for maybe a colleague, someone who works in your office. Maybe you want to give it to your next door neighbor to build a little better friendship. So that's my book.
I have 20 happy bucks because Katie was so patient. Where's Katie? Where did the ukulele Katie go? Katie was so patient with my sponsorship application for Lucky Luau and got me all the information, and I hope we get more money from Raymond James. Thank you so much for all your help.
Dear Tuesday, I have one happy buck for my favorite daughter that's on the meeting this morning.
I have one happy buck. I have, through a variety of circumstances, visited 3 other Rotary clubs in the last 2 weeks, and I can't tell you how happy I am that I'm a member of this club.
I've got 20, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've got 20 happy bucks. All is going really well with the St. Baldrick's Foundation fundraiser for children's cancer research. The Clear Creek County Sheriff's Department is on board, so we've got 4 shavies coming out of there. Matt Durer, I don't see him. Matt is going to shave with me on March 17th at the Wild Game as well. My hometown is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and all the net proceeds from that basketball tournament will go towards St. Baldrick's. And I'm crossing my fingers that on March 17th at the Wild Game, we might have a Colorado Olympian coming as a guest. And our newest celebrity in Evergreen, President of the Chamber, is going to be there signing autographs.
Free your money, and I'm not shaving my hair, I'm sorry.
I have 20 happy bucks. Look at this cute little thing. I mean, come on. Thank you, Patrice. Yeah, the other 10 is for Patrice because I've never heard patient and Katie in the same sentence.
I have 10 happy bucks because I'm so grateful for all of you. I just want you to know that, and you know, I don't know what else. I'm just grateful.
This is it. You guys, tonight, tomorrow night, if you're so inclined, the Evergreen Players at Center Stage has an improv going on. I know most of you have no idea what that is, but there's an improv tonight and tomorrow night. Marcia and I will be there tomorrow night. Show up.
All right.
It'll be epic.
Thank you, guys. All the happy bugs. Awesome. Thank you. All right. We're running a little bit behind, but let's see if we have any general announcements. If we do, run on up and let's go through it quickly.
Just have 2 very quick announcements. Our Rotary Book Club is meeting April 7th at Bob's house. And it is. Don't say that. And the book is The Day the World Came to Town, 9/11 in Gander, Newfoundland, and it is not a sad book. It's really a nice book. It's a short book. Love to have you there. We always have a really good time. Lena's going to make a Newfoundland dinner, I guess, right? Something like that. Whatever, right? Well, that's good. That's good. You're worth something, right? And also, I just sent out an email for Dine Around, so I'd love to have you sign up. I was going to put the group together this weekend, but I don't think I'll get around to it because I'm leaving Sunday, but I'll do it during the week, hopefully. It's a great opportunity to hang out with your fellow Rotarians. It's really nice for new members. You can check off one of your Red Badger requirements by going. So sign up. And I will send the email out again. Remind you. Thanks.
Good morning, I'm Dave Laughlin, and I just really quickly wanted to remind you that we're now exactly 2 months out from the home show. And this is obviously a big fundraising event for us. Between Conifer and ourselves, we usually get about $20,000, so it's a big deal, and it takes a lot of manpower. And so I would invite you to access the sign up genius and get that going. And then also we've got booths left. I want to say that we've got probably close to 30 booths. So if you're a business or you know of a business, please, we'd love to have you participate. It's a great community event. Sorry about that. It's at the Conifer High School. It's April 11th and 12th. Again, we'd love to see you there.
Well, we need a little peace, and the peace team meeting is on Friday the 13th. Oh, that's today, and it's in the table back there. See you right after the meeting.
Good morning, Richard Ayler, Chair of the Echo Food Drive. Just wanted to remind you that we have our monthly food drive next Friday, and so please bring your food, non-perishable foods. Also, just a reminder that if you don't have time to bring food or you don't have food to bring, I also will take grocery store gift cards and cash as well. So please help donate for the Echo Food Drive. The need continues to rise in our communities. Thank you for all.
Thank you. And you know, if you guys are on Facebook, and I don't know if it's on Instagram or not, but Echo usually puts out a list each week of what they're in need of. So if you look at that, I know they'll take everything, but look at that next week, just if we can try to meet the needs of the food bank, that would be great.
Okay, Jen is going to introduce Mary Pat.
Well, good morning, everyone again. I am super proud to introduce Mary Pat DeWald as our speaker this morning. Mary Pat is a registered nurse and the founder of Blue Sky Nurse Concierge and the Nightingale Center for Human Caring. She has extensive clinical experience in acute care, hospice, and community health, supporting patients and families through serious illness, end-of-life care, and caregiving transitions. Much of her work has been alongside families experiencing loss both before and after death. Today, Mary Pat will be speaking with us about grief, how it shows up in real life, how it affects individuals and communities, and how we can better support one another.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you kindly for having me. Can I just speak on happy instead? So anyway, grief. We all grieve, don't we? And we all grieve differently, each and every one of us. It's part of life, grieving. And how we grieve, we need to share it. We really do. Many of us keep that grief inside. Why? I asked friends and family members earlier this week to share with me their grief, and what would they say? I was told yesterday, before our Evergreen shooting, Mary Pat, when somebody asked me about grief, I can't speak to it. And I sat there with her at the rec center, and I said, it's okay. I'm here for you. I want you all to take a moment of silence right now. Just a moment of silence to be within yourselves. And think about grief and where you've been with grief. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that grief is personal and it touches each of us differently. I want you to take care of yourselves in whatever way you need to during our time together. Coping with the loss of someone or something you love is one of life's biggest challenges. Often the pain of loss can feel overwhelming. We really don't know what to do. Whether it's a sudden loss, whether it's a loss we're expecting. I'm expecting a loss today as I visited a dear friend who was on hospice yesterday morning. I've known him for over 30 years. He actually met me at my office when I had an office at the Stonehouse. Because at that time, I wanted to build a hospice home. And he came to me and he said, Mary Pat, I want to finance that home for you. And I said to Ron, not right now. I'm not quite there. But I held his hand yesterday and reminded him, I know your wife has left, and I know you will leave, but I'm here for you. There are normal reactions to significant loss. And I want you to know that grief and depression are different. Depression stays with you. It takes you down. It stays with you. Grief is up and down. It's like a roller coaster. And we have what I call sometimes post-traumatic stress, where we see something that affects us. For instance, last night, I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with what happened last night, but I was coming down Highway 103. My husband, my lovely darling, my Uber driver last night as he was taking me to Ruth Steakhouse so I could hear a medical conference on liver disease. Liver disease. And we get to there, 74. Sirens. Stop. Hey, what's happening, Sheriff? Can't tell you. You need to turn around. So we turned around. Saw all the law enforcement agencies. And I texted dear friend who texted me as well. What's going on? Oh, there was a shooting. And apparently the shooter shot himself. The clinic there that I visit frequently is a clinic I used to work at. And Tuscany's, we're familiar with Tuscany's in that area, Evergreen. So it kind of, wow, stress. You know, it kind of, I was a mess going down the mountain. And I looked at my husband, I'm just like, what am I doing? And I thought, it's okay. You'll get through this. Our community will get through this. And mind you, our community is grieving. We all aware of that. This community is grieving. And there are layers of grief. And you Rotarians are just absolutely amazing in how you support each other. Let's support one another and our community as we move forward. As you know, grief is a normal response to loss. It's that emotional suffering you feel when something or someone you love is taken away. And many of us have had that happen in our lives, whether it's a child, the 8-year-old child I lost back in 1987. My younger siblings, my younger sister who died suddenly in 2012. 10 years ago, my younger brother drove out from Key West. A wonderful human being. A wonderful human being. He had been in recovery for 8 years. He was a national speaker for Narcotics Anonymous. I loved my younger brother dearly. He decided to drive out to see family. He stopped in Alabama to see our oldest sister, bypassed Georgia, our other sister, because she was the one on the way home. And then he was on his way to Wisconsin to see our older brother. but then called and said, Pat, I'm with your family. I want to come out and see you. I was so damn excited because the following day that he was going to arrive, we were putting Jasmine, our dog, our beloved dog with cancer that had deteriorated. We were having him euthanized the following day. And I thought, wow, my brother's going to be with me. How exciting to get to hold hands and share stories. My brother had never been to my home, and I've been there since 1987. Okay. The next day, oh, we had a wonderful night. My daughter fixed this wonderful, wonderful curry chicken. My brother and I stayed up. We talked about life. We talked about going to Germany, his birthplace. We talked about his twins, who were 5 days younger than my daughter. His twins had been given up for adoption, secondary to his lifestyle. And he was going to be able to see them the next month. And we were so damn excited about that. I went to wake my brother up, and I knocked on the door. And I had my cup of coffee. Joe, it's time to wake up. There was no answer. Joe, the vet's coming in an hour and a half. We got to get up. And I knocked on the door, and I went. And there my brother was, lying in the same damn position he was when I went to tell him Mom had died back when he was 12. My brother had died in his sleep. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that was a tough one. I got through it. It still comes and goes. By the way, we call that day a 2-for-1 because we did have the vet coming. Also, we grieve the loss of our health, the loss of a limb, the loss of a smile from a loved one that may have dementia. For those of us that have worked in the world or had a loved one with dementia, severe dementia, I hate that word dementia, by the way. I call it cognitive decline. But it's a loss, in my humble opinion, a significant loss. I'm currently a court-appointed guardian, actually for a friend of mine, a nurse I used to work with. She was a mentor. She actually saved my life when we worked together in Blackhawk. And I go 3 to 5 times a week to sit with her. And I grieve at times of our memories together, of what we shared. But you know what? I sit there and I listen. Sometimes there's no words, but just being present with someone. In the world of hospice and palliative care, I've also sat with individuals as they take in their last breath. I've also sat with them following medical aid in dying. Not an easy task, but yet something I'm called to do. You need to take care of yourselves through this journey called life, because we're all in it, aren't we? We're all in life. And it takes us down different paths. Whether you've lost an individual, a loved one, whether it's a divorce, what about getting fired? Or losing a job? Or retiring? That too can bring grief. Many of us experience different symptoms when it comes to grief. Shock and disbelief. Did that really happen? Did my dear brother really die? Oh, he did. And it can be hard to accept death or whatever happened. And you can feel numb. If someone you love has died, you may keep expecting them to show up. Sometimes at a dinner table, the next holiday, we have an empty chair. They're not there anymore. But you know what? I tell individuals, celebrate life. Celebrate with the ones you love and celebrate now while you are here. There's also sadness, profound sadness. And it's probably the most universally experienced symptom of grief. is being sad. You may have feelings of emptiness, despair, yearning, or deep loneliness. I yearn for my mother to be with me. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 13. On my 15th birthday, my mom was hospitalized. She was under an oxygen tent. And I'd go see her every day. And one of the last things she wanted was, Mom, what can I get you? A Coca-Cola. She didn't say it quite like that. She kind of whispered, Coca-Cola. Mind you, this is the hospital where my dad had worked, where I had spent many days. And I went down to the cafeteria. No, first I went to the nurse's station. And guess what the nurse said? Your mom's too sick for a Coke. Really? My mom's too sick for a Coke? My mom's dying. So lo and behold, I went down. My dad became a Coke and stroke. And I snuck it up. I snuck it up. And I went to the side. My mom's by the window in her oxygen tent. Coke. And she took a sip of that Coke, kind of gurgled a little bit. But you know what? She got one of her last wishes. My mom had arranged for me to go to Europe that summer. And she died 10 days later after being in the hospital. And I went to Europe. My mom, she was a smart woman. I was not so smart, but she decided she'd send me to college at the age of 15 to go study English literature and drama. So on my wish list is to follow that dream and do a little drama down the road. Something else we may feel is guilt. By the way, when I went to England, I did feel a little guilty that my mom died and wasn't with me. But I knew in spirit she was. You may regret or feel guilty about things you did or did not do. So do it now. Do it now with your loved one. Don't blame him. But if you do feel guilt, you don't own it. It's really okay. It's really okay. After death, you may even feel guilty for not doing something to prevent that death. More than likely, you couldn't have prevented that death. It's meant to come. We never know what that's like when someone crosses over, do we? Because they ain't here to tell us. Maybe through telepathy, who knows? We also have anger. How many of y'all have felt angry because somebody has left you? Anger is very real. Even though it's nobody's fault, you can feel resentful. You may be angry with yourself, the doctors, the nurses. I'll tell you what, in healthcare, yeah, I've seen that anger. I've seen it big time. I had a lamp thrown at me in an inpatient hospice facility from a loved one. It happens. We just try to keep it down. Fear. How many of us fear death or fear the loss of a loved one? I do sometimes. Sometimes I say to myself, my God, what am I going to do when my husband leaves me or mine leaves first? And then I have to kind of say, enjoy it while you're here. Enjoy it while you're here, because you never know. You never know. It can also trigger a host of worries. You feel anxious, you feel helpless, you feel insecure. You may even have panic attacks. I have sat with individuals with panic attacks following a loss. And again, it's sitting there. Just sitting there, being patient and listening. Physical symptoms of grief. You may have fatigue, nausea, lowered immunity. Individuals do get sick when they're grieving sometimes because their immunity level falls. You can have weight loss, weight gain, aches and pains, and insomnia. I know last night I had a really hard time going back to sleep after I woke up at 3 o'clock. Because all I could think about is what happened in Evergreen. So I want you to turn to family and friends. It's time to lean on the people who care about you. Even if you take pride, as I sometimes do, in being strong and self-sufficient, I want you to know it's okay to lean on someone. Oh, it's my commercial break. So, I want you to know that when you reach out and ask for help, that is a sign of strength. It is a sign of strength and not a sign of weakness. So please reach out. Often people want to help, but guess what? We don't know how. Sometimes people just don't know how to help. And that's where it's okay to just, hi, I'm here for you, Mindy. I'm here for you. Let me know what you need. Otherwise, are you okay if I just sit? Draw comfort from your faith. If you follow religious tradition, embrace the comfort and the morning rituals that it can provide. Spiritual activities that are meaningful to you, follow those. Join a support group. Grief can often feel very, very lonely. I joined a group called the Nurses Way. And we meet online. We're a bunch of nurses from throughout the world that just kind of share our stories and allow each other to be who we are without judgment, without guilt. And some of those stories we share, oh my God. But just contact somebody. Don't go through it alone. Take care of yourself. Face your own feelings. You can try to suppress that grief. Trust me, you cannot avoid it forever. It is with you. And we all grieve differently. Know that. Know that. If it's unresolved grief, it can indeed lend itself to complications. So again, speak to it. Speak to somebody. Share. Grief isn't easy, and it's not easy to share. It's not easy to talk about, but let's talk about it. So, this is a girlfriend of mine that I asked Emmy, I said, tell me about grief. What's one thing about grief that you'd like to share with me? Grief is the last act of love we have to give to those we loved. Where there is deep grief, there was great love. My dear friend Emmy and I, she was the first girlfriend I met when I was 10 years old and moved to Florida. And I just love Emmy, and we're still in touch. There's 14 of us from high school. We text each other every week, sometimes every day. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, 2015, I got the telephone call that Emmy's dear son, Derek, had overdosed with the DOA at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, and DOA is dead on arrival. And that was May of 2015. And I couldn't quite go to the service at that point in time. We'd all just gotten together earlier in May of that year, because I'm part of the Captiva Divas with my girlfriends from high school, not together once a year. But anyway, Emmy waited till I got there in October, and I sat in her kitchen and we talked about Derek and life, and the sadness of losing her one and only son. But she waited for me because it's a Pat. I want to give you this. And it was an envelope. is the autopsy report? So I opened it up and I read it. M, it was a heroin overdose. She didn't believe it. And to this day, still has a hard time believing it was a heroin overdose. But it was. But I sat there with her and we still just share stories. And she comes through her grief. And we laugh and we still have great times together. I want to share with you, each time we show up for someone in loss, we live out Rotary's commitment to service above self. Notice the people in your circles who may be grieving quietly. A neighbor, a fellow member of the Rotary, a caregiver, a family member, perhaps even a stranger. Small acts of connection are often the most meaningful of service. In moments of grief, showing up with presence and compassion is one of the simplest and most powerful ways we live out service above self. Thank you.
I'm open for any questions. Okay, well, thank you, Mary. Speaking to us today, Rotary is still trying to eradicate polio throughout the world, and so we will donate 60 vials of the polio vaccine in your name. So thank you.
All right, you guys, let's go out, make it a good day, unite for good, and happy Valentine's Day.